Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. And by the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission advocates on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
Hi, and welcome back to our last segment of Community Hotline tonight. I'm Monica Weitzel, and we're in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. And now to close out the show, we're going to be talking with Sam Subedi, who is the engagement coordinator for the Parks for New Portlanders program for the Portland Parks and Rec. Thank you for being here, Sam.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Your work as an engagement coordinator, what exactly do you do? Are you mostly working with immigrant and refugee populations? Is that what
Yes, who are new to Portland. And I manage refugee immigrants who are new to Portland from Parks Department, Portland Parks and Rec.
Okay. So I know that there's an event that we're going to talk about that is created for New Portlanders. And I want to hear also about your experiences when you were a New Portlander. But tell me first, when people come here as you know, new to this country, not just this city, there's a lot of challenges. It would be very difficult, I'm sure, many times. What's one of the hardest things for people to acclimate to? What's one of the hardest things to get used to when people are coming here from another country? Besides the fact that maybe they don't speak the language, they don't have a job, maybe. How about connecting?
Going back to my story, I came to this country 9 years ago. 9 years, 10 days, 10 hours.
Days, but who's counting, right?
Yeah, 10 minutes or 10 seconds ago. So when I came, English is my fifth language. American English is my fifth language. Yes. So still I have a strong accent, but I still try. Like every second is my new way of saying or kind of reducing my strong accent. So language is always a barrier and the culture. So I had cultural shock upon my arrival. So
tell me where you came from and
So I was forcefully evicted with my family and community from Bhutan in early 90s. So I was in refugee camp in Nepal for almost 2 decades without the hope of life and future.
For how long in Nepal?
Almost 20 years.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, I went through a horrible life. My childhood I spent my childhood in refugee camp.
Oh my. So then when you get out, I don't even know how you would know how to cope with the world living in a refugee camp all that time.
So it was a very isolated refugee camp, no electricity to cook or no fridge to store food, no books to read or no bikes to ride, no good libraries, not good trained teacher or no good schools. I spent in that kind of chaotic situation. So the camp was totally isolated from outer world. So in 2006, U.S. declared to resettle 60,000 refugees, and I'm one of the first arrival in Portland also. And we didn't have any organizations already established here. So either I had to start or just do nothing. So because there were no other support besides doing myself. So I didn't sleep that much, but I had that hope to start my new life, new beginning. So I had the resiliency, strength that I'm here to start my new life. America provided me that second chance, and Portlanders are there to support and welcome and have the generous heart and
So is that where
compassion.
You came first, was
Yes,
Portland?
Yeah. In 2008.
Wow.
With a little plastic bag and $10 in my pants pocket.
Really? Yeah. Did you come, I know other people came, but were there any family members that came with you?
They joined 2.5 months later.
Oh, they did. Okay, good.
That was wonderful news when I heard that my family is joining.
I'm sure. So you're obviously doing a lot of work with the immigrant and refugee communities now. Is this just your way of like giving back, or just being able to help people that went through the same thing that you did. What's your motivation to do this work?
So America provided me that opportunity for Second Life. So I always thought about giving back to the community. So in 2011, I was able to buy a house. In 2012, I was able to buy a hot red Mustang. And I saw one of your sponsors is Ford Mustang. So I'm thankful for them.
That's right.
And in 2013, I became a U.S. citizen. That's a very proud moment, and I cannot forget that moment that I belong to one U.S. and I belong to this place. So that was a very proud moment. And
some of those are things that you probably didn't really have hope for a long time.
Yeah, because I lost that identity since I evicted. So my government, Bhutan government, never said I was the citizen of the country. And Nepal, as a host country, we were termed as a Bhutanese refugee. So I didn't have that identity there until 2013 when I got my U.S. citizenship. And I'm very proud American.
Good, and we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here. So tell me, what kinds of things do you do? I know you do some advocacy work. Is that right? Or
yeah,
you,
a lot of hats. That's why I lost all
yeah,
my.
you do. Yes.
All my years. I was young and pretty when I came to this country. So
there was. I see your name all over the place as working with different community members and representing and doing advocacy work and talking in front of the county commissions and things like that. So you're out and about a lot, doing a lot of things.
I think all that drives due to the needs and urgency of the community. So I always work as a bridge between the government and the community. So there are things that both doesn't sometimes know each other or know the urgencies or needs. So I always help, and even my job, I bridge that gap. So City of Portland has super duper programs, but sometimes it's not connected to the newly arrived refugees. Maybe
they might have
don't
a really
know.
good idea, but they don't know how to connect with them or what they might need or want.
Yeah, so my job is to bridge that trust. And also newcomers, they don't have trust with the government. So
which is
that's my
understandable.
job because, and that's what I do now, to connect that dot.
I remember you and I talking about, the first time we met, we talked about that a little bit, about the fact that people often are afraid to vote because, they don't know if it's safe to vote here because maybe it wasn't in the country they were in. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, or they're afraid to, be involved with the government or be, speak their voice because where they came from, maybe that wasn't allowed, maybe that wasn't okay, maybe it wasn't safe.
Yeah, the fear is still there.
Yeah,
right?
Which is totally understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's the new, is it New Parks for Portlanders?
Parks for New Portlanders program. So the mission or vision of the program is to engage and integrate them, New Portlanders, into happy and healthy life of the city. So that's what my job is.
I like that. That's a good goal. So one of the things that that people pretty much all over the world love is soccer, right? That's one of those sports that's really pretty international, and that is the focus of an event that's coming up.
Yes.
Is that why soccer was chosen, because it's so well known in so many countries, or?
So I mean, when we started this, so soccer was the international vehicle to bring the community together, youth, families, communities at large. So when we started, I was helping 4 communities, Burmese, Bhutanese, Iraqi, and Turk-Russian group at one of the local mill park, and that's where I started my job with Portland Parks also in 2010. So that really brings community together. So when we use soccer to have intercultural dialogue, when they meet in July, during the tournament, they see each other, they have intercultural dialogue, they have intercultural connections, and we bring city officials, they have connections there. There are city vendors at the event, and they connect, they provide resources and other information.
So letting them know what resources are available to them as citizens of Portland.
Yeah, and also the soccer brings different diverse group, and
it does.
That shows the presence of who we are.
Yeah.
So that's the goal of the game.
I like that. I my son-in-law is from South America, and he plays soccer quite frequently, and sometimes I'll go by and there's people from like all sorts of countries. I mean, it's a really diverse group of people, but that's something they have in common, and it's great. Everybody, it's a way to connect with people and share something in common rather than talk about the things that are
Let
different.
me give you an example last year. So we have 6 city bureaus involved this year. And last year, Portland Fire and Rescue, they were coaching 2 teams, a boys and girls team, and just from southeast part of the town. And I started tracking their language and cultures and community they represented. And there were 23 languages spoken in just 2 teams.
Wow.
And I got tired and stopped counting all these 20 or 30 teams.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. So sometimes we don't recognize that thing, but we have all this presence from different parts of the
Well, you
world.
better get busy. You have a lot more languages to learn.
Let's hope.
Yeah, 5 is pretty impressive. We're just about out of time, some. So we're going to bring the flyer from the event up on the screen. This event is there's 2 age brackets, right? 14 to 17
and 18 to 21. And the girls are kind of open. But this year we are
here we go. There's
partnering with PDX World Refugee Day on the second day.
Oh, good.
So we are expecting thousands of people, Portlanders, to come and support. Because sometimes we talk about refugees or immigrants, but we don't meet them. So that's the opportunity, and we don't talk to them directly. So it's an opportunity for us to come and partner,
I think that's great.
That we welcome them.
So it's at Delta Park.
Delta Park.
And the information will be on the screen, so people will know where to go. But it is free for people to come to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because we partner with agencies, so that we share the cost, and we have all these volunteers. Wonderful volunteers come together to help.
It's a lot of work, but if you get a lot of volunteers and community support, then that's worth it. Before I close here, what are you looking forward to most in this event? What do you hope to get out of it? What do you hope is the best, the best thing to come out of it?
Bring community together, bring settled Portlanders, settled Oregonians, and new Oregonians, and new Americans, and new Portlanders together, and have that common goal of getting American legacy of welcoming and being more compassionate and generous.
I couldn't support that more. I totally agree with that. Thank you for all of the work that you do in this community. I'm so glad that you're here, and keep up the good work. We'll see you at the soccer tournament.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, and thank you for watching Community Hotline. You see, there's a lot of great stuff going on in the community. This one has an even a more important facet of it, which is welcoming people that are new to our community. Welcome them, please, and let them know that they belong here too. So thank you for watching Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel. We'll see you here next week. Good night.
Possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. And by the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission advocates on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.